Okay, and 3, 2,
Two,
1, and action.
Welcome back
Welcome
to
back.
Hey, can we talk?
I'm Trevor.
And I'm Emmy. And we've been MIA.
Yeah, we have.
We've been elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not physically.
No, we've been around.
We've been around.
Just a lot's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a pretty hectic couple weeks.
I think we've missed 2 weeks of the podcast.
Yeah, the last one we did was when we were at the house.
Yeah, and I feel like when we returned from that trip, we became No, thank you.
What was that?
Hey, so I didn't like that.
I'm gonna level with you. I also didn't like that. I'm assuming it was the wind, because the windows are open.
Oh yeah, it's got to be that.
Hopefully. I don't know if you guys didn't hear it, but a door just slammed to the back of the house.
Yeah.
And we're the only ones here.
No, they might have heard it.
Maybe.
Yeah, this is our first time without children around us
since we got back.
Yeah. And it's impossible to build those times in. Like, we don't really have many people to rely on when it comes to that, of like getting time for us. I know.
Not yet.
I know.
Yeah, but it's definitely been a challenge.
We've like fallen back into the roommate phase for sure.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I think that, I don't know. I don't remember what we said about it before.
It doesn't matter, because I
think that it's a normal, you're going to go through it multiple times in your life. You're going to go through, because life gets in the way, especially when you have kids. Like, you're going to fall into that rut where it's like, hey, what's up? I'm going to go peel oranges while you're picking up the bathroom and picking up toys. And then
peeling oranges is
I gotta make some waffles for Max.
Yeah.
You go ahead or can you go late? It's just we don't ever have a minute unless it's 11:30 at night to have like just quiet time for us to just be able to, even if we're just on our phones.
I know, but I feel like that's becoming an issue for me, at least.
Us being on our phones?
Yeah, like we need to set a limit. Like, I know you and I both like to scroll. We scroll together.
Yeah.
We like joy scroll at the end of the night, but I don't feel like you and I are connecting. Like, we are connecting in some ways, and some nights I'm super down.
Yeah.
But other night I miss just like watching a movie with you and actually like watching a movie with a plot.
Movies all suck right now.
They do.
I haven't seen a good movie in forever.
We're just not really movie people, but
there we are.
No, we're not.
They're just not good movies. Yeah, we'll sit down and watch the whole Harry Potter trilogy.
That's true. If it's good, that's
if it's
true.
a good movie, or Lord of the Rings, we'll watch Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But the movies that come out are just
Yeah. And I think, like, to back up the train a little bit, for people who don't know us, or like,
I think that's most people
that don't know us.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying, like, if you're new here, if you're a new person, because I think our backstory does matter when it comes to this topic, because we've seen ourselves through this season of life many times. So just like a quick little about us. We've been married for 10 years, together 12 now.
Yeah.
We have 4 kids. Our oldest is 13. So she was from my first marriage.
Yeah.
We met and married very young and very fast.
Mm-hmm.
And
like 6 months.
Yeah. And so we've been through multiple phases of parenthood 4 times now, because Olivia was 1 when you and I got together. And so we've seen the other side of all of these phases, right? We've like found ourselves in the newborn trenches, like the exhaustion.
Awful.
And then you quickly enter the toddler phase, which is really challenging in its own way.
Yeah.
And then when that toddler became a kid, we were having another newborn and just kind of restarting that cycle.
Yeah.
And so we've seen the roommate phase many times, but I saw someone today reframe it as the teammate phase.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is when you don't feel like a team.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel right now. I feel like right now we're butting heads on a lot of stuff over like petty little things.
Well, you're getting upset about me over petty things.
Oh, oops.
You're not bothering me.
But it's not petty. I'm saying the thing is petty. Don't call me petty.
I didn't call you petty. I said you're getting mad about petty things.
So are you.
What did I get mad about? What did I get mad about?
That's true, because I don't piss you off.
No, you do. I just don't take it out on you.
I don't take things out on you.
What?
I just tell you how I feel.
I know, but then you stay mad at me the rest of the day, which is like you tell me, move past it, but then you get mad at me all day and you don't move past it.
I've moved past it. I need a day.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's not.
You didn't talk to me, Rocco. Okay, a little bit of. We'll just talk about yesterday, right? Yesterday,
Yeah, but
you got
lightly,
upset
because I don't feel like being mad at you another
No,
day.
I'm not. I'm gonna just say exactly what happened. Okay.
Okay. If you're new here, welcome to what this is, because this is what it is.
It's just us arguing.
Essentially marriage counseling, and that's the whole reason we wanted to start this podcast.
Okay, let me tell my thing.
Was to talk about these things and to share with other couples, because a lot of us don't talk about it, and we feel so alone.
You feel very alone.
Yeah.
Okay? So
go for it.
Here's what happened yesterday.
Your side of it.
No,
and then
I'm just gonna tell you the facts. Yesterday we're doing some house projects, and maybe later in the podcast we'll get into why. We're doing some house projects. Maybe if you're lucky, stick around to find out.
Dang.
No, okay. So we had to add like framing around our doors because we've never had them. We redid our flooring. We never put the door frames back up because they're so expensive.
Yeah. Why would we finish projects?
Why would we finish projects? Let's just leave them undone.
I like to start projects.
Yeah,
that's it.
I don't like to finish them.
No.
I went out to my saw with the top piece of the frame and I cut it and it chipped. Okay. Now, 5 years ago, I would have been sent into an absolute spiral. I'd been so angry, right? I literally said, verbatim, I said, dang it, dude, why did it chip like that? That sucks.
Nope. Pause.
That is exactly what I said.
Pause.
Oh, God, she's going to be like,
I wish you said it like that. I wish you said it like that. And I tell you this daily, it's your tone. You did not have that tone.
What did I say?
You were just set off.
I was annoyed.
You did not go, dang it.
I didn't have a smile. I was like, dang it, dude.
But
like,
it wasn't
why did
a yikes and move on situation.
I
literally
was going to move on.
But your tone immediately, nope. I'm like, great.
Pause.
He's pissed. He's going to fly off the handle.
Pause.
I don't
What was your tone? What was your tone?
Oh, I was immediately annoyed with you.
Yeah, you went, I can paint it. So you brought a level of, drama and you being pissed off over me literally saying, why did it do that? That sucks. And I was frustrated. But
that wasn't your tone.
But I didn't flip out. That was it. She went on a walk for 2.5 hours and then she got home.
I sat in the car.
I know you did. Then she gets home, takes
this is not a tattle session.
No, I'm not.
You're tattling.
No,
Talk
I'm not.
To me.
And then whenever you got home, you took a bath for about 2 hours.
Yeah, I did.
And then I'm doing all of this stuff.
You can call it golfing. I was golfing. Yesterday was my golfing day.
Okay, fair.
Except I don't have friends to do it with. And golf for me is sitting in the car followed by a 2-hour bath.
Okay, that's fine. But then literally even in the evening, didn't really talk to me over that.
No, because we didn't even address it.
What am I going to say? I'm going to go, hey, I know. I didn't think that how I reacted was poor. I didn't think it was a poor reaction. Compared to what I used to do, it's steps towards the right direction.
Okay, and I've communicated to you like how your short temper affects the entire household.
But I didn't blow up or anything. I literally emoted. I had emotions and I was like frustrated about it. I didn't flip out. I didn't stew on it all day. I literally took a second. I was frustrated. I didn't yell. I didn't get mad. 5 years ago, I would have been done for the day. I would have just stopped.
Yeah, that's progress.
Thank you.
That is progress.
I know, but you got to cut me some slack because it is something that I really struggle with my temper. I struggle with not letting, and it's the little things that drive me nuts. Big things, okay, I'll get frustrated about it. It's the little inconveniences that drive me nuts.
But that's so odd to me.
Well, odd to you, but that's my life. And I'm working on it.
You're also a very vocal, you're a very auditory person.
Yes, well, we've talked about this. I would rather be mad about something for 10 minutes. Be mad about it in the moment. Feel how I feel.
10 minutes seems a little bit long.
Be angry at something and then move on rather than just being like, okay. And then all day it's this festering wound in my chest where I'm just like, you fucking.
A wound?
Yeah, dude. It's like a wound.
Over a piece of wood chipping?
It was frustrating.
I guess that's my thing is it should have been that. Dang it, that sucks. And it just wasn't.
But it was closer to that than me freaking out.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know which way it could go. Yeah. And I think that's the thing.
That's what we fought about yesterday.
Yes, but it's deeper than that. It's those little things that have pushed us into that roommate phase.
I know, but you got to cut me some slack. My dad did just die.
Trevor,
you do have to cut me slack. I'm still grieving. What are you talking about?
Because this isn't a new issue between us. And if you're going to act like it is, it's not.
No, I'm not going to say it is. But I've gotten progressively better over the past 12 years.
Yes.
Leaps and bounds better.
Okay.
Than I was 12 years ago. Now I'm still grieving. I'm still like, it is a lot of things stacked where I'm like, on top of like, hey, keep a calm, cool, collected mind. But whenever I have all of these other things going on.
Okay, but across those 12 years, I've also been like dealing with that. I've also been on the receiving end of that. You haven't had to go 12 years waiting for me to improve something. That's hard. I don't know that you think about that.
No,
I've
you're right.
also lived 12 years and you've made a lot of progress,
You've
but
seen the glow up.
yes, but you have a long way to go.
I understand that.
And I'm cool with that. It's the when you don't acknowledge how your temper and your short fuse affects me,
I understand that.
you immediately go like, well, you just shouldn't let it bother you or whatever, instead of just validating of like, I hear you, I'm sorry.
But even when I say I hear you, and I understand that, like I handle that poorly, it doesn't make anything different. You're just as mad at me as if I wouldn't have said it.
Well, because it happens every day still.
It does not happen
It
every day.
Yeah, you have a short temper.
It's not.
You do. You have a short temper.
It's not every day though. Come
on.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It 90% of the time you just seem like a bothered person.
It's just my face.
Trevor,
I just have a very just like
because like you're not that way around your friends. You have like a lot of fun with other people. And so I feel like roommates right now because we don't have fun together right now. We're tired.
Well, yeah.
We're tired, we're busy. We don't get a break from our kids. Yeah. Like we are a whole house family. Our kids are
in the living room.
I mean, we have a 1,700 square foot tether.
Yeah.
They do not leave our sides. No.
Which is great, but at the same time, it's
lovely,
annoying as shit.
And then we're fighting the whole bedtime thing right now, which again, we've been here before. We know it ends, but when you're in the thick of it, it feels like this is forever and I can't do this forever. Yeah. And we talked about this at marriage counseling, like those exact words. I don't want to do this forever.
No.
Is a normal thought to have.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I don't want to be with you. It just means like, I don't want to do this phase forever, and acknowledging that and then talking about it.
But I think that I think it's important to talk about this with your spouse, and this is coming from, I can only speak on our situation of like, you have to not only just, you can't just say, I can't do this forever. You have to frame it in a way that divorce isn't being like threatened. Yeah. And that's something that we battled a long time ago.
We still kind of do, but it's like based on my word choices.
Yeah, sometimes her word choices, I immediately get defensive and I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, we're married. What do you, and she doesn't mean it that way.
No,
but I immediately, worst case scenario in my mind, I'm like, oh, she's telling me she doesn't want to be with me anymore.
When I say things like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, whatever this is, I don't want to do this
anymore. You got to clarify that. You got to clarify because we've been down that road where you've said that same thing, but you meant divorce. So like, you need to really choose your words wisely. If you're the one talking to your spouse about an issue, you have to kind of frame it in a way that it is, the other person's not going to stew and like unravel at the thought of
like potentially we have to figure this out.
Yeah, like we have to figure this out. We're in this together. Like you need to fix this. And we need to fix this together. Yeah. Your issue is affecting both of us, but I want this to go on for our whole lives. So we need to figure this out versus like, I can't do this anymore. It's like,
but I think if your spouse does say that to you, you're going to choke on those words a little bit, but you can repair from there. Like that was how that hard conversation started. So I think sometimes we try to pick our words. If you try to pick your words too carefully, where you're not communicating like fully honestly,
you're not being transparent.
So if it comes to that, and that is like, I didn't throw that around prior to that. I think if you're throwing it around a lot, work on that. Like if every argument has that like,
if you're threatening to kick somebody out,
you're 1 foot out the door. But I felt that way before.
Yeah.
I think it's just, that's your sign as a
case
couple.
by case scenario though.
Yeah, totally. Because sometimes there's valid reasons for maybe ending a relationship. But I think with these normal things that most marriages like go through and I think people don't know that because we're not talking about it.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody wants to admit that they're thinking of leaving. Nobody wants to admit that their spouse does something that like irks them every day. Nobody wants to admit that maybe they suck at apologizing. Like there's so many things. Why would we want to talk to people about that?
No, because
Right.
it just creates conflict,
And
especially
people
if you're
shouldn't, because you also, no, not especially.
especially if you're like a people pleaser, or you're like, kind of like, let's just smooth this over. That's where you need to have those hard conversations if you want to grow.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta put
I
the
was
work
saying
in.
that a lot of people don't talk about it.
No, yeah.
So then when you're going through it as a couple, you feel alone, and you feel like, oh, we're not right for each other.
Oh yeah, that happens.
And like I was just talking about this on social media, and so many people in the comments were saying like soulmates are made, not found. And I loved that, because you have to like work at this all the time, and some seasons are so easy. It's like smooth sailing, and then like for no reason, aka many reasons, you end up in this sort of like stagnant phase, but not just stagnant, like problematic.
Yeah, if you're like snapping at each other all the time.
And I feel like we're kind of there, like we're not really vibing. We don't get a lot of time to just connect as a couple, because we have 4 kids, we homeschool, we don't have family around a lot. Like our mother-in-law takes the kids most Sundays, and that's been fantastic.
That's amazing.
But I think a lot of couples don't have that.
No.
And so then you are just like up against a wall day after day after day, and that's where we're at. And like, especially with the bedtime thing, which, how do we have 4 kids and we still don't know how to put them to bed?
We've done it differently every time.
Every time.
First 2 kids, there was no movies
so
to bed.
Easy, yeah.
Third kid, movies to bed. He'd wake up all night. We weaned him off that. He'd just fall asleep. Max has only ever known watching movies to bed.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't know how to just relax and fall asleep. And I said that from the beginning.
I know.
Give me my props. I said it from the beginning. TikTok agreed. I am right on this. There's a victory for old Trevi Pots and Pans. I've been saying this for years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I didn't care about being right or wrong. I honestly just was like, I wanted to know people's experiences, because I grew up watching movies to bed.
There's a reason.
I needed it until I met you.
I know, but there's a reason for that.
I know. And I think that's like a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, so it's like, not everyone. There is
now that I feel safe.
Yeah.
I don't need, like, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
But our kids don't feel unsafe. And so we've just created that habit. Because I've been like, I've dismissed it or excused it as like, I'm fine. And but then when I think about the reason that I needed it, I'm like, that's really sad, actually.
Yeah.
That I couldn't be alone with my thoughts. Like, absolutely not. But I've also, we've really, really babied Max.
Oh, well, yeah, he almost died.
Multiple times, right? Yeah. Like, and so Max's entire existence has been, I have this like over appreciation for Max, and because he's our last, and I don't really want him to be our last.
It's our last, and we're not having another one. No, we're not.
I've been
physically impossible.
You didn't go to your follow-up appointment.
It doesn't matter. Can I tell a funny story, actually?
No, let me finish this thought, and then you can tell a story. But I've been coddling him for sure. I mean,
I do too.
He gets away, and that's like common 4th, 5th baby stuff. But we have landed in this roommate spot, but not teammates. We're not working together. Like, we just are not vibing. And like yesterday, I needed that time yesterday.
No,
like the conversation would have been horrible if we had it yesterday.
I know, that's why I didn't say anything. I gave you space.
And I had to work through all of that, right? I'm still like working through that process of thought when we get into an argument, literally over a chipped piece of wood, when like so dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb. But it feels bigger than that, right? It feels like we're not meant for each other. We're not compatible anymore. You must not love me. Maybe I'd be happier somewhere. Like, literally, but that's how females, we internalize everything. And we overthink, and we have to like figure the whole situation out.
Yeah.
And you kind of make like your own mess in your head, right? Because when I left, I didn't think like that was so dumb. That was over a piece of wood. When I left, it was like, oh my gosh, this cannot be the rest of my life. I miss us. I miss the old us. I miss having fun with him. And working through that thought process instead of, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of this, and maybe we should just be done. Like, really reminding myself, you are not leaving that man. That is your husband. That is your best friend. You are married. You are
and you're broke.
Ride or die. And I'm broke.
You're broke.
That's not a valid reason. But like to just remind myself, like, no, this is my person, and we are going to go through so many more phases that are going to be way harder than a chipped piece of wood.
Yeah.
You're not leaving him. Like, take a breath and just like work through things after that. And I just think if more of us were not feeling like we were alone in these things, we wouldn't be thinking of jumping ship so much, because it's very easy when nobody else is talking about it for you to go, oh, my marriage is broken.
Yeah.
That person doesn't deal with it. That person, they seem happy. And you forget how universal this is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're dying to tell your story.
Yeah, I
Go
really
ahead.
am.
Jeez.
Okay, so
I'm proud of you. That was so patient.
Listen, I'm growing.
Ugh.
So we can't have any more kids. We're done. I got a vasectomy years ago.
Could we foster?
I can't afford the kids we have now. I don't know if I
But you get paid to foster. I wouldn't do it for the money. I'm just saying it's not a financial burden.
Maybe like
a foster, like infants only. But then what if we fell in love and wanted to adopt
another kid?
Why couldn't we do that?
Because let's not tie ourselves down to anything right now. We got a lot going on right now.
Our kids ask for another baby all the time.
I know, but
that would be so exciting.
I just want to have our kids grow up and then have some normalcy. I'm tired of the baby phase. I'm tired of the diapers. I'm tired of all of it. I'm tired of wipes. I'm tired of cleaning asses. I'm tired of, oranges being eaten by the pack.
I already got grandma things on my mind.
Yeah.
I asked the kids what they're going to have their kids call us when they...
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, and it was they were like, grandma and grandpa? I'm like, oh, okay, we're going to have to work on that. Yeah. Anyways, what's your story?
So, when I was in the Navy, there's this guy that I worked with. His name was Stuart. Shout out to MA3 Stuart. I don't know if he's still in, but...
How is this connecting?
So, whenever I was in, I only had 2 kids. And so... we were talking one day and they were like, Bennett, are you going to have any more kids? And I was like, yeah, probably. I was like, when I get out, I'll probably have like 1 or 2 more and then I'll get a vasectomy. And everyone's like, oh yeah. And from across the table where I was sitting, there sat Stuart, who he loved the military. He oozed like super cop. He like had the wraparound shades.
Young though?
He was older than me actually.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he was. I think when I was like 23,
you were a young dad.
Yeah. When he was like, I was like 23, he was like 26.
Okay.
And he was like,
why were you talking about a vasectomy if we only had 2 kids?
I said, well, I'm going to have like probably 1 or 2 more.
And then
I'll be done.
Okay.
And we're all sitting at the table and he was like fresh out of his mom and dad's basement. Like not like grimy,
hadn't seen the world.
Hadn't seen the world. Had never drank before. Had never like done anything. He was just kind of a square dude. I love Stuart. He's one of my favorites, but yeah, he's just kind of a square. And he goes, I hear him across the table go, you gonna keep him? And I go, what? And his face turns like Kool-Aid red. And he's like, nothing. And I was like, did you just ask me if I was gonna keep him? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, Stuart, keep what? And he was like,
your balls?
Your balls. I was like, you think
he thought they were getting
they take your testicles off your body? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, hey, Stuart, do I look like a German Shepherd? Do I look like a German Shepherd? Do I look like a dog? Do I look like a dog where I'm gonna get my nuts clipped? No, I was like, it's just a little tube they cut. That's it.
I think that's a fair question.
No, but you're 26, dude. You should know how a vasectomy works.
Why? If he doesn't have kids, I
knew what a vasectomy was whenever I was like 10. So my dad got one.
Oh, but I didn't. But as a girl, I didn't talk to my dad about that. If
he
doesn't have that, if
26,
26,
you're too old to not know what a vasectomy is, or you think
so.
There's men voluntarily getting their testicles removed from their body.
It's not a crazy thought. If you didn't know what a vasectomy was, it's not a crazy thought.
Oh boy, babies are home.
Babies are home. Are we gonna pause?
But yeah, it was pretty wild that he
didn't know.
He didn't know what a vasectomy was.
I don't think that's wild. I think there's a lot of things that you don't know until you're in the world of parenting. Many things.
I think vasectomy.
Obviously, I was transitioning into a new topic when I said that I just think.
Like, what else?
If you're not in that world, how would you know?
That's true.
Like, postpartum, for example. Yeah, we all hear about it.
I didn't know anything about it.
We, hear about it, but until you're experiencing it, you don't fully understand. I would have so many questions. I love that he asked that question. I think it's really cool that he didn't know and he asked.
Well, he got made fun of pretty heavily.
That's fine.
I made fun of him for a few days.
Mean.
It's not. It's joking around.
Guys are different though.
Guys are
but
different.
I think
We
that's
make
cool
fun
that
of
he
each
asked
other.
that question because I think there's a lot of things in the parenting realm that you don't know until you're in it. And even if you think you know, you don't really until you're in it. And I think I've also not given like you and I enough grace when it comes to that because I go, okay, we've been together for 12 years now. We have 4 children. We have been parenting since we met. Like, why don't we have this figured out?
Yeah.
But I don't give ourselves enough credit for like we've never done this phase.
No.
We've been in the newborn, toddler,
Yeah.
like childhood trenches. We've not ever experienced this phase that we're in. You're working, I'm staying home.
Yep.
Brand new. We're homeschooling now. Brand new. Right, our toddler is entering childhood. Brand new. Our 2 middle
Entering
boys.
childhood?
Like he's exiting toddlerhood. He's a child.
Yeah.
And then we have the middle boys, and then we have a teenager now.
Yeah.
And we have never done
And
this.
she's the worst.
She's the worst. She's got attitude.
I want her to move out ASAP.
People
She's
warned
just.
me too.
We only say that because we know that she listens. So
Yeah,
we're just
she's
kidding.
amazing.
She's the
I
best kid.
absolutely love raising a teenager.
Yeah, she's so easy.
And I'm so excited. I know they won't all be that easy, right? And she has set the bar very high for her siblings, which I think is another reason that I question myself as a parent. So I'm like, I have done this.
See, I think Cal will be easy like sis. It's Henry. Henry's the one that I'm worried about.
He's feisty. I know, but you know what I mean?
He's the one that's going to be like the principal's calling, like, hey.
Oh, yeah. I hope
got
not.
into a fight. Like,
I know. He's so protective.
Dude, very protective.
They've all been so different, and they're going to continue to be different, right? Just because she is a very, like, wonderful teenager. So fun to raise. Like, she's not just like, she's a good kid. Is he gonna step up? He did.
Oh, good job.
She's a good kid, but she's also just like fun.
Yeah,
like
she's
love
easy to hang out with.
having a teenager, and I'm hoping it's similar when the boys are teenagers. I know it might not be, right? They're
like
all so
3-4
different.
years away, Calvin will be
I know. Yeah, I smell your burp.
I didn't burp.
Yes, you did. I smell your lunch.
No.
Yeah, you did.
Well, yours. You ate the same lunch as me.
I didn't burp.
You
It's
smell
on
just your
video.
breath.
You just burped.
I didn't burp.
I smell your lunch.
You smell the lunch we both had coming out of your mouth.
I just ate Skittles. It's not me. You burped, and I smell it. Is what I'm saying.
I definitely didn't, but that's okay.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Definitely didn't. That's a cool new word. This is fun.
This is
Dude,
fun.
we haven't. This is the problem. We haven't just sat down and talked because if we're not filming a podcast,
they're bothering us 24/7.
Don't say bothering. They're not bothering us, but they're in the same room, and it's, hey mom, look at this. Hey dad.
Good.
Hey mom. Someone's laying across me at all times.
Yeah.
Someone's making fart noises in the corner.
Yelling in the background.
Right? Liv's asking when we can go to sushi next.
Yeah.
And Max is usually like getting a chair to climb up somewhere. Like our life is constant chaos.
Yeah.
And it's so happy and good and wonderful. And I'm so blessed. But I am exhausted.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Yeah, it's I smell your lunch.
It smells like Skittles.
You're disgusting.
We're gonna end up on burp talk again.
Burp talk again.
That video has so many saves.
Really? Oh damn.
Wait, how is that to know that a bunch of people saved my burp and probably rewatch it, if you know what I mean?
That's kind of a cool thing. Now that I think about it, I don't know how cool that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Kind of a weird one.
Yeah. But I didn't do anything wrong. I'm like,
No,
you're
just
going to watch
burping.
me burp?
Yeah. Go for it.
Go for it.
Pay me $5. I'll burp again.
I'll burp for free.
No.
Yeah,
Gotta
I'm
monetize.
burping for free.
No, we get paid millions off this podcast. It's crazy how much
Not
money
yet,
we
we
make.
don't. Not yet, we don't.
Do we want to tell the big news?
I don't know if I'm ready.
Why?
I don't know because it still doesn't feel real.
You've already posted about it on your social media.
I know. It feels so official to announce that.
Huh.
To me, to put that out in the world of like, we're moving.
Oh, you just did it. Yeah, we're
I
moving.
just went for it.
We're moving.
Hi,
bud.
Let me see.
What do you got? What do you got?
What is that?
What is that? Is that a piece of candy? Is it good? You want to say hi? Say hi.
Hi. I can say bye and I steal it.
What do you want to say?
I say.
Okay. Go
Okay.
play with your brothers.
Go play the goat game with brother.
Are you gonna sit right there?
Okay.
Usually.
No.
Oh.
No.
Hey, what's up, man?
No, because you're the talker.
We're just chit-chatting.
We're just chit-chatting. We'll be done soon.
It's Max is a baby. You went through this too, babe. Go enjoy yourselves.
Yeah. So we're
I mean, that's our life.
Yeah, that's our life.
Our life. Is like
one sitting over here.
We can't get through. We don't have conversations. Focus. Okay. We don't have conversations.
No, we can't.
It's just business.
Even this is going to be an issue. But
it's just business, right? I feel like coworkers.
Yeah.
Have you seen that trend?
Mm-mm.
It's hot. Couples walk by each other in the hallway. I'll show you right now.
Well, show me after. Show me after.
Dude, is that my feet?
Probably. Damn, dude, you're stinky.
Well, it's the slippers. It's not my feet.
Yeah. We've been
There's this trend, and it's really romantic and spicy, but it's so relatable. It's couples walking by each other in the hallway of like, you used to be lovers, but now you're just nursery coworkers or something.
Maxie, no, bud.
I'll show you. If I can find it.
Podcast coming to Screeching Hall.
No.
Wait,
dang, I've been liking a lot of videos.
You can show me later.
I can't give up. I gotta show you now. I have to.
This is an audio podcast, and you're showing me something on your phone.
I'll show you a different
Maximus, no, bud. No.
Me and my baby are back together, and we're staying together. You like it or you don't? We're staying together.
All right.
And we're getting married. I love the dedication and the loyalty.
That's cool. Anyway, so we're moving. We're trying to. That's why we're doing all the projects. That's why we're trying to do all the. Dude, how are you in a sweater? No, you're making me sweat.
Oh my gosh, bro!
You're in wool.
Imagine being on a first date and she goes to snuggle up and he goes, "Ew, you're making me sweat." Oh,
good thing this isn't a first date.
Delete your number.
We've been locked in 12 years.
I don't care. Don't do that.
Maxie, stop. Oh my gosh, he's just dumping out candy onto the couch.
Who cares?
I do. That's crazy. Yeah, you knocked him out. Put him back in the bowl. Thank you. So yeah, and don't even. You're in a wool sweater, and it's hot as shit in here.
It is hot.
Thank you.
I just wanted to like touch you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Jeez.
But you're like putting your arm around me with your wool. Max.
I'm just saying, be more like flirtatious with me.
I am very flirtatious. What are you talking about?
No, sexual. I'm saying flirtatious. They are different. That's another topic I'd like to discuss.
Yeah, but you threw your arm around me. You know how many times I try to be flirtatious, and if you're not in the mood, you shut me down. But
because I'm not talking
about sexual. I'm saying
flirtation.
I understand that. There's times where I'm doing non-sexual flirtation, and you're not really having it, and I don't go like, it's hot, and you're in wool. It's hot.
But to go like, oh,
I have cooties. No, you don't have cooties. It's just hot. I was like, you're making me hot.
Would you do that on a first date?
No.
And would you do that to someone who is short and blonde? No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
You wouldn't push her off. You would go, oh, come here. She'd snuggle right in here with her tiny blonde hair.
No. Nope.
Son.
So I've said it like 6 times, but yes, we are moving.
But you really want to talk about the moving thing. I don't think we can get fully into that. I think that's added to our plate, and that right, all of these things have just added new transitions to our plate right now, and so it's like no wonder we've found ourselves overwhelmed and burnt out.
We're
and
we have so many house projects.
Our capacity for anything outside of that is very low right now, and that's fine because it's temporary. And I think there's an equal amount of stress about moving, especially when it comes to out of state.
Yeah.
But I want to look forward to it. I want to feel like it's an adventure and not just stress.
No, I agree.
Yeah. But so I think that added to yesterday, the chipped wood thing, is because I went, okay, this decision is causing strain on our marriage, maybe it's not worth it. To me, it wasn't because we were doing a project for that.
Have you gone? I'm tired, dude. We're up till midnight every night.
I know. Because we were doing something to prepare the house to move, and that's stressful in itself. And then you get pissed off about something. To me, I associate that. Even it's small to you. Don't roll your eyes.
I
at
didn't.
Me.
I tilted my head.
Okay. Come on,
I tilted
sir.
my head. You said I got pissed off. I didn't. No, Maxie.
You want to sit right there? He wants to just sit right there and play with his
Okay.
fan. No, I'm saying so that's when these things become like deeper to you, and I think to men in general. You guys are very black and white. To you, you got pissed off at a piece of wood chipping. Yep. That's normal, big deal. To me, it's okay. We're doing a house project to get our house ready.
Maxie, go this way. Thank you, buddy.
To me, it was that the decision we've made as a couple to move out of state is already stressful enough.
Yeah.
Now we're getting the house ready. That's stressful. We're super busy. And then we're getting pissed off at the projects while we're doing them. And so the move does not feel exciting to me right now. It feels like not a burden, but it feels like it's putting strain on us. Yeah, and I would like for it to not feel that way, even though it's like, well, yeah, moving is stressful. I know that. My whole thing is like, it doesn't have to be that way. Like you could just hear what I'm saying. I can hear what you're saying. And like, we don't have to just go like, well, moving's stressful and that's normal.
Yeah.
Because then that's how you find yourself just in a rut forever.
Yeah.
To go like, it's normal, right? Like even talking about all of this and this phase that we're in and these seasons that we go through, yeah, they're normal, but they cannot remain normal.
Yeah, they can't stay constant.
And so I want to just feel excited about the move, and I want to trust that you are leading our family in this move, and that it's not going to have to be me being the like emotional stronghold the whole time, that we're sharing that load and that we're doing it together and that we can kind of lean on each other. And we're just not doing that right now. We're like, you're stressed in your own ways. You feel a lot of responsibility. I'm stressed in my own ways. And so our paths are like parallel right now.
Yeah.
And they just haven't met up yet. But when they do, we're back, baby.
We're back, baby. Try again. We're back, baby.
We're back, baby.
There we
go. That
was
was a good one.
That was good. First one was tough. We'll have to cut that one out.
Yeah. And then I think just we need to be better because like we have not done this since we went on that trip. That's why we haven't released a podcast episode. Like we have not sat down and had a conversation in 2 weeks. It's just been in passing and business and what needs to get done and what's for dinner and whose turn it is to deal with Max, and bedtime is like exhausting and we just wake up and do the same thing day after day after day.
Yeah.
But like I would love for us to try to actually sit down every day, like set that boundary with them.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it. I don't know how to communicate it to them to where they don't feel pushed off. But the reality is like you and I have to be strong in order to be better parents to them. And like they deserve that. And they deserve to see like a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And right now they're witnessing us in a down, they're hearing us bicker a lot.
Yeah.
They see us recover, but right now their reality is mom and dad are stressed. They're bickering a lot. Do you need anything? Like we're asked all the time, do you guys need anything?
Yeah, but that's just Calvin in general.
It's sweet, but I'm saying our kids are seeing that version of us right now, not the version that's working together, and we owe that to them,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think we'll be able to get there.
Yeah, but I think it's like in modeling those, like we used to go on weekly dates.
Yeah.
We maybe need to bring that back, and we haven't. I felt too guilty to do that. I'm like, every week we're gonna leave. Like I immediately feel guilt, but then I'm like, when I see we haven't done that in 2 weeks and we've landed in the position that we're in, I'm like, oh, that it's like maintenance work, you know, or like a preventative thing, and just building that in. But for people who can't, and that's been a great season of life, dude. If you're not there yet, when your children become like children and teenagers, you can just go on a date.
Just leave them home.
It's fantastic. Nice. I would rather leave them with each other than with a babysitter.
Oh yeah, and you don't got to pay them.
Well, my reason's a little different.
Still gotta pay them.
You gotta pay 'em.
Babysitters be charging money,
Honestly,
dude.
and I would too. If I was a babysitter, I'm not doing it for less than $20.
Dude, I mean, we've had babysitters, they watched like 3 or 4 hours, and I had to pay them like $70,
Yeah, because
$80.
I trusted her and I loved her, and she was worth every single penny because we did not worry.
Yeah.
But we don't have her anymore.
Yeah.
And we have family every now and then. Today they went to lunch with someone, but I'm saying on a regular day-to-day basis, and for the couples who also don't have someone to rely on on a regular basis and or cannot afford a babysitter because that's not in the budget for us.
No.
You will reach a point. Well, this is twofold. Number one, you will reach a point in parenthood where you can go on dates again.
Yeah.
That has been lovely. I think we need to reprioritize that because we've gotten so busy.
Well, I think it's also where we're being a lot more mindful with our money. Too,
that's true. But it doesn't, we don't have to go to dinner, and that's all we do. A date does not have to be, it could be like literally walking the trail together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like going to the river, something no spend. But if you don't have that, or your kids aren't old enough to stay home alone for an hour, to build in at-home time, and I don't know what to call that yet, but like to build time, especially if your kids fight bedtime. Oh, where'd your clothes go? Have you seen that post?
What post?
Have you that post
the
about
burp one?
No.
What?
About like feeling like we're in the roommate phase right now. Have you seen that post?
I think so.
So like sharing what we are going through right now.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Have you seen the comments?
No.
It's like there's 400 comments on like that people are going through these same exact things, and thank you for talking about this, and I wish more people would talk about this. I just think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's cool, and I think that like validates what we are trying to do with this podcast and to not let it slide. And I think that was also like we kind of messed up on that, like letting our thing take the back burner.
Yeah.
Like prioritizing those things again. Prioritizing us sitting down and talking, making that time, because we do have the time. We just get so caught up. You just get so caught up.
Get burnt out too, to where it's like when we're
to
doing
where I'm
house
like, I
projects
feel
all
like-
day, where it's like baseboards and door frames and painting and all this stuff, and it's like, oh, we got to do a podcast too, but the kids got to eat dinner, and then it gets like 11:30.
I'm not saying a podcast.
Lighting
I'm
shit.
saying a conversation.
Oh yeah.
Not waiting so long.
Yeah.
Because I think that's like that's kind of the downhill slide into like you find yourself in the roommate phase. But we've been here so many times before, and we'll be here so many times
Life
again.
just
And
gets in the way
but
sometimes.
that's so comforting to me.
Yeah.
And not seeing it as like the end all be all, right? Like this is gonna be the one where it's like, nope, you've been here before, you'll be here again.
Like the low on a roller coaster.
You know, it's just like the dip on a roller coaster.
Enjoy
and then
it.
Yeah.
Enjoy just the,
And you know what's coming.
Yeah. Moving all the way up.
And then you know what?
Something's gonna
pop
take
off.
it. And every now and then there's a loop, and that's kind of fun. You're like, whoa.
I don't know that we've had a loop. We've had a loop.
Moving's gonna be a loop.
Oh, that's a good loop.
That's
though.
a good loop.
Oh, I was thinking about the vertical drop off we had a few years ago.
Yeah. Not those. No, a loop's good. A loop is like a big thing.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
We are about to go through a loop.
About to go on a little adventure.
Yeah.
We're moving closer to both of our families.
Yeah. We're moving away from some family. Moving closer to other family, and I'm excited for that time. Like we have not had that time.
Yeah. And I think also like, so we're moving to Idaho. What?
I don't know. I don't know if I want people knowing where we're moving.
It's a state. I'm not saying where.
I know.
We're just moving to Idaho.
But there's such a stigma on like Californians moving to Idaho.
My family lives there.
Dang it. Now we're those people.
I know, but I'm not going to be annoying about it.
But are people in Idaho rude about that?
No, I haven't.
Because that will irk me a little bit.
No, but it's usually it's usually the people that move from California that try to bring California to Idaho. Those people.
But I feel like there is a kind of a stigma on like, oh, these Californians moving to Idaho. Is that how Idahoans feel about us?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't blame them.
But my thing is
honestly.
like, if you're coming with the same values that we have.
Yeah, we're not those kinds of Californians.
No, we're not.
Don't worry.
No, we're not. But it's
Idahoans.
like
Idahoans.
So yeah, so like my brother lives there, my mom lives there. Your parents live in Washington, which is like 3.5 hours away. Your sister.
Yeah.
And those are people that all have kids the same ages as ours.
Yeah.
So that they'll be able to be.
Yeah, and our kids are so excited.
Yeah.
I think if our kids were not looking forward to this, I don't know that I would have entertained it.
No.
But we're at a spot in life right now where it's like, why not?
Yeah.
And right, we're homeschooling. You have a job that you can kind of do anywhere.
Yeah.
We're at this like transitional period where it's like, I don't want to just stay here and this is all I do with my life. And we have family that we feel like we're missing out on somewhere else. And so to do that and to know that our kids are so excited for it, I'm so excited.
And it'd be nice to be closer to my mom since my dad's passing, like be close to my mom.
Yeah.
And then my brother, who's,
yeah,
we've talked about it, but he's the last like part of Bruce that I have
you
left.
haven't like had a close physical relationship with your brother, like physical.
When we were kids, me and my brother did not like me, which is like I was annoying
stuff. Yeah,
didn't like me, and then he joined the Marine Corps, and he kind of let me into his friend group. And then the year I got out of the Navy, he moved to Idaho.
Yeah,
and so ever since, so since
distance.
since him coming in for work and stuff to California, and we've gotten a lot closer. And then after my dad's passing, we kind of got a lot closer to where now it's like I'm not bothered being around him.
Well, you guys just don't clash anymore.
Yeah, we don't. I think we're very similar. I think
I think we were. That's another. You and I were also in a really difficult season of life, and that affected a lot of our relationships with family.
Oh yeah.
And friends, but like more family, I feel like we really pushed away from people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's natural because you're starting a family of your own, and so you're kind of comparing your journey to how your parents did it or how your siblings were.
Yeah, but my family also, like the cabins and stuff we'd go to, it
was difficult.
It felt like everyone was kind of like looking out for everybody else, and we were kind of the black sheep. But then again,
we have a lot more kids.
In hindsight, though, I don't know how much of that was self-projected.
Oh yeah, I think that was us.
We kind of projected that.
Yeah.
And then we're just ready to throw in the towel immediately because we're like, well, we are the black sheep. So they're treating us that way.
Yeah, so but what I'm saying is I think we felt that way when I think what it was is that we were in a very difficult season of life with infants, toddlers.
Yeah. Maxine, no, go in there.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
No, I was saying I think at that time we were also in a really, really challenging season of life, and we maybe just shouldn't have gone on those trips. We should have been more honest with ourselves of like it is more chaos than fun.
Yeah.
And that's hard because family can sometimes get offended by that of someone going like, "Hey, we're not going to come this year." And I think we should have because it created a lot of tension and nobody knew why.
Yeah.
And we just should have been more willing to kind of prioritize our season of life and to go like, love you guys. We won't be there this year because when you go on vacation with family, it's not vacation. It's just reality somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that gets complicated because our family members are so far removed from the season of life, and we have 4 kids. Like,
oh, sorry, I'm so tired.
Just our experience was a lot different, and then you're around people who have not been in that season for years and years and years, and so they're not thinking about closing the door or being quiet at night. And we should have just been better about like, we're just not going to go this year. But we put so much pressure on ourselves, and therefore a lot of pressure on our family to live up to our standard of what that should have looked like, when really we probably just shouldn't have gone.
Yeah.
But again, it's like all of these phases and seasons are brand new, and we're all just doing it for the first time. And every time something happens and you go like, well, what's wrong with us? Like, why is vacation stressful and chaotic every single time? And then you talk to other people and you find out, oh, they go through that too. But because we're not talking about it, we're posting the cutesy little videos on social media and the Instagram stories, but we're not posting our husbands getting road rage or you bickering in the car about one of us wanting to stop. Thank you. And the other not, or ew, Rocco.
He's so nasty.
We're not talking openly about those kinds of things. And I don't think we should. We shouldn't be just like bashing our spouses all over the internet. It is private. But then when there's not that open conversation, you go like, well, why is every family trip kind of chaos? And it's like, well, because that's how it is. Watch any movie with a family. If they go on a road trip, it's fucking chaos
the whole time.
But then when it's happening to you, it's like, oh, well, we're doomed.
Yeah.
I just want to go on a vacation and not bicker or not, you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah,
just
but
not reality.
no.
It's just not reality. But we forget that because we're comparing ourselves to very curated lives on social media.
Yeah.
And so you see this like glamorized version
Or
of travel.
it costs, $20,000.
Oh, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
But I'm talking just even like a simple road trip or a family vacation or whatever. It's just such a normal part of this season of life. Yet when you're dealing with a conflict or you're in one of those like downward spirals, it seems like the end.
Yeah.
It seems like this is not how it should be. And we just forget how normal all of this is. And you're reminded of that when you start talking about it openly and honestly with another couple or other couples that can just like relate to that.
Yeah.
And it's not like a spouse bashing.
No.
It's just, hey, here's what we're navigating. And then to hear that someone else goes through the same exact thing where you think it's so unique in your relationship.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, that's normal for you guys too.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't feel so heavy and it doesn't feel like such a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Because most of them are not deal breakers.
No.
It's just these little things that
is also like an interesting thing because like the spouse, you mentioned spouse bashing.
Yeah.
That's a weird flex people like to do. Where they like, there's a level of joking, but then there's some people that like just like drag their spouse when they're not around.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
but I think certain relationship, like certain friendships with people can bring that out.
Yeah, but if you have a friend
friends
that
I would talk to openly about us, and then
you wouldn't drag me.
But I've gotten into that. I've gotten
You dragged me before?
I've gotten sucked into. I have gotten sucked into those like spouse bashing conversations.
You bash me?
Yeah.
And for friends?
No, it wasn't like that. It's like we think we're confiding in a friend, and quickly the conversation turns into both of you kind of bashing your husbands. And I ended that friendship for that reason.
Yeah, but you bashed me.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna need some mental health.
Oh my gosh. I'm just saying, I think that is common. That you try to confide in a friend about your marriage or your spouse or whatever, and the conversation can quickly go there.
Yeah.
And if it's playful, fine. But if it becomes like the trend,
yeah.
And I did feel like that was becoming the trend. I could not confide in my friends about our marriage because it didn't seem like they were rooting for us.
Yeah.
They were rooting for me.
Yeah.
It was like, well, you deserve better. You should leave. It was like this encouragement. And I think that's huge right now too. We see a lot of the like, never settle for less than what you deserve. And it's like, okay, great notion, but that's such a wide statement.
Yeah.
Or like, feel free to walk away from anything that's no longer serving you.
Yeah.
That's so dangerous because it's like, in some cases, yeah.
Yeah, but we all know what those things are.
I just think that we're not talking about like actual hardships and struggles in marriage and relationships.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of kind of the opposite of that, of like empowerment and but there is kind of this trend of like, don't settle, like,
but you shouldn't settle, but at the same time, like, we're all human.
Yeah.
Of like, if you're saying that like,
the work hard,
don't settle, I need someone that's 6 figures, 6 feet tall, and it's like,
that's not what what people are talking
you're
about.
settling by not.
No.
Yeah, but that is what some people are like.
But you think more materialistic. I'm a more emotional thinker.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general, there is a real trend, I feel like. We either see the picture perfect stuff or we see people who are throwing in the towel, but you don't really know why. But it's just like, best choice I've ever made. And I've been one of those people.
Yeah.
I've been divorced and it was the best choice I ever made. But
yours is
it's a different situation.
Yeah.
But I just think as young couples, we are not talking about this. We're not normalizing these seasons. And so it's so easy to find yourself going like, well, I deserve so much better than this, or I would be happier alone, because we do see a lot of that content as well.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it's easy to fall into that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that whenever, if you have the thought of like, I don't deserve this, all this stuff, I think that's when the conversation happens. When
Yeah.
you talk about it, because
Yeah.
your spouse, or if she might think the exact same thing of like,
no. Oh, it's dying. Are you recording?
Yeah.
That's the angle you chose? Okay, our camera died, so per usual.
What do
so
You're not focused if it's on me.
We can't both be in it. Our camera died, but this was fun.
Yeah.
We need to talk more.
Yes. We won't miss next week. Okay, bye.
Bye.